Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to find Naraku, but according to Jonkin, he's at least somewhere around Ayame Village. But before we go there, we've got an event to take care of that's unique to Miroku. But there is another event that we need to take care of as well. So, but since we can't do both, well... Okay, we can do both, but, the moment we do one, the other will disappear for a while, so... let's just take care of this one real quick first. This is an event that, you can only get on Miroku's route. And yes, it is also available if you're playing as Mitru as well. I'll probably do Mitru's version when I get to his version of Miroku's route. Not sure. We'll see. That still awaits off. In the English version, Miroku says, I wonder who I'll meet today. From the screenshot, the translation for Miroku comes out as, so, what kind of encounter awaits us here? Which, I think, is a bit better. The English one definitely makes it seem like Miroku's only thinking about himself. From the text translation, though, Miroku is saying, so, what kind of encounter awaits me here? Which isn't too different from what the English version went with. But, just given the phrasing of it, like, yeah, it means the same thing, but I guess the wording is what I meant to say. I do prefer the translated result.
法師様、今日は私と一緒に情報集めするんだよね。
In the English version, Songo says, Miroku, aren't you going to gather information with me? From the screenshot, Songo apparently says, Monk, will you come with me to gather information today? Which, not too different. Let's see what the text has. The text isn't too different, having Songo say, Monk, will you be gathering information with me today?
Hmm. こう天気がいいとふらっと足が勝手に動いてしまってな。
Let's see. In the English version, since Songo had asked, weren't you going to gather information with me? Miroku responds with, oh yeah, but my feet have a will of their own on such a beautiful day as this. From the screenshot, Miroku apparently instead says, well, when the weather is nice like this, my feet just start moving on their own. So the English version suggests that Songo and Miroku had previously agreed to plans of gathering information, but then Miroku's just like, sorry, weather's nice, so I'm just gonna wander about, see what happens. Whereas in this case, Songo is asking if he'll help her gather information, and he's just like, sorry, I just feel like wandering around because the weather's nice. From the text translation, Miroku responds with, when the weather's this nice, my feet just start moving on their own. Wording-wise, I do prefer the text result over what the screenshot's giving me. But also, context. Yeah, I do prefer the Japanese version over the English version, just because, again, it's the context between the English version. Miroku and Sango previously made an agreement, and Miroku's backing out, versus the Japanese version, Sango's asking if he'll help, and he's just like, sorry.
ちょっと奉仕様。
In the English version, Sango calls out, hey, Miroku! Which, again, off of their version of, they previously agreed to gather information together, and he's backing out. Yeah. From the screenshot translation, Sango is calling out, hey, monk! Which, yeah, not too different from the English version. The text result is the same with hey, monk. Which, I mean, I'm not saying I have anything wrong with that, because it's the same between the two languages. But again, still context between what's going on between Miroku and Sango, the Japanese version. She just seems more upset that he's refusing to help her out and is instead wanting to do his own thing, as opposed to the English version. Again, they previously made plans, and he's backing out to do his own thing.
懲りねえやつだな。
In the English version, InuYasha remarks, he never learns. From the screenshot, though, InuYasha apparently is saying, he's a tough guy. Let's see. The text result comes out a little better, with InuYasha saying he's a stubborn guy. I mean, yeah, from the Japanese version, makes sense. Like, Miroku is set on something and he just goes with it, but that's also a case with InuYasha, so pot calling the kettle black. Whereas the English version seems to be playing up the Miroku and Sango shenanigans.
ほんと相変わらずというかなんというか。
From the English version, Kagome says, I don't know what to say, but I agree. Let's see what the Japanese version has. From the screenshot result... Wow, she actually says something incredibly different. From the screenshot result, Kagome says, really, it's the same as always. Which, honestly, fits closer to the English version having InuYasha say he never learns. Because that's pretty much what Kagome's saying. Like, Miroku, like, when it comes to Sango, Miroku just never learns. The text result comes out the same as the screenshot result. Yeah.
あの癖さえなければ尊敬できる奉仕様なんだけどな。
In the English version, Kururugi says, if he didn't have that weakness, I could really respect him. From the screenshot, though, Kururugi instead says, if it weren't for that habit, he'd be a respectable monk. So, the English version definitely changing the context here. At least based on the translation. The translation being that if Miroku wasn't the way he, like, didn't have his bad habits, maybe people would respect him more. But from the English version, it gives more a sense that Kururugi doesn't really have much respect for Miroku because of his bad habit. Which, in this case, I'd honestly stick with the translated result of, like, if Miroku dropped his bad habits, he, like, other people would respect him more. From the text result, though, the result isn't too different for Kururugi, coming out with, if it weren't for that quirk, he'd be a worthy monk. Wording-wise, I do think I'd go with the screenshot result of, if it weren't for that habit, he'd be a respectable monk. Largely to kind of line up with the English version's I could really respect him part. Again, just context change to other people, not just Kururugi themselves. The use of weakness, quirk, or habit pretty much could be interchangeable.
ほほう。では、尊敬する私の子を産んでくれますかな?
This part is specific to Kaname, though. So there is a slight difference between Michu and Kaname here, depending who you do the event with. So if you're playing as Kaname in the English version, Miroku says, well, if you respect me, will you be the mother of my children? From the screenshot translation, Miroku instead says, I see. So, will you bear my child, my esteemed one? I don't think that first bit is supposed to come out as I see in the translation. I think that's supposed to be... I think that's supposed to be Miroku, like, coughing or clearing his throat to kind of change the trajectory of the conversation or something. I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing. Let's see. The text result isn't any different from the screenshot result. The only difference being, instead of so, will you bear my child, it's then, would you bear my child, my esteemed one. So, pretty much Miroku trying to come off as more respectful. Kind of. I think think the phrase is putting on airs. I don't need to translate that. That's Kururugi just, or that's Kaname just being shocked. And this would be the second time that he's asked her to have his kids. In the English version, Kaname just has a very exaggerated what? Sure, I could see that being the result for the Japanese here, but it feels more like it would be a huh? And of course, Songo getting incredibly angry. English version, she just calls out Miroku. Whereas she's just yelling monk. Like that's easy enough. Let's see. In the English version, Shippo reacts with jeez. Let's see. From the screenshot. From the screenshot, Shippo just responds with, "Oh dear." I mean, yeah. That's like if you've heard yada yada does it, like that's it'll pretty much be along the same lines as that. So like, oh dear, oh boy, or jeez, like just some form of annoyance.
Moshi, 大丈夫ですか? もしもし.
This seems a little weird to me, unless the idea is supposed to be that the old man here seems kind of spaced out. In the English version, Kururugi calls out, "Hello? Are you okay? Hello?" According to the screenshot translation, though, that's pretty much on point. I don't think the text result would be any different. Yeah, no. Huh. Yeah, I can only assume then that the idea is he's spaced out, so they're trying to be like, hey, is everything okay?
ほっといてくれ。俺はもう生きていく気力がなくなっちまったんだ。
Okay, no, not that he's spaced out. He's just very depressed. Okay. In the English version, the old man Mohachi, apparently, we'll see what his name actually translates to, says, "Leave me. I don't have the will to live anymore." Oh yeah, no, it is Mohachi. Okay. From the screenshot translation, he says pretty much the same thing. "Leave me alone. I no longer have the will to live." Let's see what the text result has. Pretty much the same. "Leave me alone. I've lost the will to live." Alright.
そんなに落ち込まないで。私たち力になれるかもしれないし。
see. In the English version, Kagome says, "Don't be so discouraged. Maybe we can help you." In the from the screenshot translation, Kagome says, "Don't be so upset. We might be able to help you." Let's see what the text result has. Yeah, it's actually pretty much the same with "Don't be so upset, we might be able to help." I mean, considering the old man's supposed to come off as depressed, I do think I'd go with the translated result here as opposed to the English version saying "Don't be so discouraged." Although you could probably change the "Don't be so upset" to "There's no need to be so upset." Could still work. And yeah, we might be able to help.
俺の女房と娘たちが洞窟に入ったっきり戻ってこねえんで、俺に愛想つかしちまったんだ。
And this is why it's a Miroku specific event. In the English version, Mohachi responds with, "My wife and daughters went into the cave and never came out. I think they got tired of me." From the screenshot result, Mohachi's translation comes out as, "My wife and daughters went into a cave and never came back. They've been so mad at me." Let's see what the text result has. Okay, the first part matches up with "My wife and daughters went into a cave and never came back." But the second half apparently comes out as "They've been abandoned by me." I think I'd reword it to "They've abandoned me." Because that would line up a bit better with the English versions. I think they got tired of me. And would also get closer to matching the screenshot's result of "They've been so mad at me." In which case, changing the wording from "They've been abandoned by me" to "They've abandoned me," I do think the text result would work better. Let's see. In the English version, Songo says, "Tired of you. Don't you think it's strange that they went into the cave and never came out?" From the screenshot result, Songo instead apparently says, "Even if you say you've lost your soul, isn't it strange that you just went into the cave?" Okay. So I think the first bit is supposed to say, even if you say you've lost your will to live, because that's what he had said prior. And then instead of, "Isn't it strange that you just went into the cave," should be, "Isn't it strange that they just went into the cave?" So they're not... So, from the Japanese version, Songo isn't addressing the possibility that his family abandoned him. or that they're mad at him or whatever. So the English version having Songo question tired of you comes off a little weird. The text result is unfortunately broken. So I do think I'd go with I do think I'd go with the screenshot results of even if you say you've lost your soul or lost your will to live, and then change isn't it strange that you just went into the cave to isn't it strange that they just went into the cave. Otherwise, if you do want to bring it around to the thing of him saying that that his wife and daughters abandoned him or are mad at him, I don't know exactly how it would translate off of the text here, but you could probably have Songo say, even if you say they've abandoned you, or even if you say they're mad at you, and then isn't it strange that they just went into the cave. But personally, I do think the translation being, even if you say you've lost the will to live, isn't it strange that they just went into the cave, would be a better result.
そうか。じゃあよ、確かめてくんねえか。俺が嫌われたんじゃねえって。
Let's see. In the English version, the old man then says, I guess that could be it. Can you check for me? Maybe they still like me. From the screenshot results, the old man says, really? Well then, can you make sure that I'm not the one they dislike? Let's see. Okay, weird. So, from the screenshot, the old man's name is translated as Mohachi, but in text, it comes out as Shigehachi. Although, on the other side, it does say Mohachi, so, whatever. But from the text result, it does come out better, with the old man saying, really? Well, then, can you make sure I'm not disliked? So I do like that one a bit better. It does match a little closer to the English version, especially with the could you check and maybe they still like me. Like having the can you make sure I'm not disliked. So like he thought his family was mad at him and abandoned him because they didn't like him. So, yeah.
いや、嫌われていないとまでは。
Let's see. In the English version, Songo responds with, I don't know about that, but while the from the screenshot results, Songo reacts with, no, I wouldn't say that you're disliked. You could probably swap disliked for hated. The text result comes out the same. No, I wouldn't say you're disliked.
よろしい。私どもが確かめてまいりましょう。これも御仏のお導きです。
Let's see. In the English version, Miroku responds with, "Okay, we will go check for you. Lord Buddha wills it." From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, "Very well, we will check it out. This is also Buddha's guidance." Okay. I do prefer the wording there. From the text results, it does come out pretty similarly but with one slight change. With Miroku saying, "Very well, I will check it out. This is also the Buddhist guidance." I think to match up with the English version, going with "we will check it out" works fine. Yeah, no, I actually think I'd go with the screenshot result in this case, because otherwise it's not really any different from the screenshot result and the text result.
ありがとう、ありがとう。よし、元気出てきたぜ。酒だ、酒だ。酒持ってこい。
Wow, he flipped on a dime. Let's see. In the English version, he cheers out, "Thank you, thank you. I feel much better now. Booze, booze, bring out the booze." From the screenshot results, he cheers out, "Thank you, thank you. All right, I feel better now. Alcohol, alcohol, bring me some alcohol." I mean, I'd be fine with just still having it be sake. The text result is pretty similar to the screenshot result, just changing "all right" to "okay." Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like, between the English and the translation results, they're pretty much identical. I'd honestly just be fine with swapping alcohol or booze to sake, but whatever. Alright. In the English version, the old man yells out, "You'll see the cave just as you leave the city." Except it's Rindo Village, it's not a city. If this were in Kasasagi, maybe, because in the English version, InuYasha does erroneously call it Kasasagi City at one point. From the screenshot result, though, it more accurately has the old man call out, "The cave is just outside this village." So I don't know why the English version went with city. Let's see. From the text results, only a slight wording difference to "the cave is right outside this village." So, right outside or just outside, whatever. The English version isn't too bad either, just swap city for village. And that's really it.
弥勒、おめえ、あれただの酔っ払いだぜ。
There we go. In the English version, InuYasha says, Miroku, that guy is just a drunk, you know. The screenshot translation does need to be fixed up a bit. With InuYasha apparently saying, Miroku, you're just drunk. Which, I don't think that's the case at all. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be saying that the old man is just a drunkard, but... What the hell? Huh, even the text result has InuYasha saying, Miroku, you're just drunk. Let's see what happens when I get rid of this. Alright, that comes out to, hey, you're just drunk. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so getting rid of two parts, two specific parts, does change it to he's just drunk. So I think the translation here is supposed to be, hey, Miroku, he's just a drunkard. In the English version, Shippo asks, are we really going to the cave? From the screenshot, he asks, are you really going to the cave? I do think that could be, are we really going to the cave, so... English version is fine in this case. The text result is slightly different, with Shippo asking, are you sure you want to go to the cave? Okay. I'm not really sure how that changes things. But I'll keep that in mind.
引き受けた以上は仕方がないでしょ。ほれ、行きますよ。
In the English version, Miroku responds with, we've got no choice now. Let's go. From the screenshot result, Miroku instead says, since I've accepted the job, I have no choice. Here we go. I'd be fine with changing the here we go to, so let's get going. The text translation result is only slightly different, with the result being, since I've accepted this, I have no choice. Here we go. Both results are fine. Again, just change the here we go to, so let's get going. Alright.
なんでおめえのために俺までついていかなきゃなんねえんだよ。
Let's see. In the English version, InuYasha questions, why do I have to follow you? From the screenshot translation, though, InuYasha questions, why should I have to go along with you? Okay. Text result is the same as the screenshot, so... Yeah, between the translation and the English version, I do think I'd side with the translated result.
軽い んだか真面目なんだかわからない時があるんだよね、弥勒様。
Let's see here. In the English version, Kururugi's inner thoughts are, it's hard to tell whether Miroku is being serious or not. From the screenshot translation, though, Kururugi's inner thoughts are, sometimes I can't tell if you're being lighthearted or serious, Miroku-sama. Okay, let's grab the text. And it comes out the exact same as the screenshot result. Honestly, like, just context-wise, the translated result in the English version isn't too different. So, yeah, I'd be fine with either or. Now things get a little weird.
ここで間違いないよね。
Because the English version had some weird dialogue choices or decisions with the dialogue that threw me off when I played through this in the English version. In the English version, Kururugi says, "This must be it." From the screenshot results, Kururugi instead says, "This is definitely the place." Let's see. The text result is a bit different, with Kururugi more so questioning, "This is definitely the place, right?" So, while the old man did say that the cave is just outside the village, I don't think I'd really go with the idea that Kururugi would say definitively that this is it. So I think I would go with the English version's result here of Kururugi assuming that this must be the cave because it would probably be the only cave they came across since leaving the village. So it would make sense. But there's that bit of uncertainty by saying this must be it rather than this definitely is it.
InuYasha, 何か匂うか?
In the English version, Sango asks, "Can you smell anything, InuYasha?" From the screenshot, however, Sango apparently is asking, "InuYasha, do you smell something?" Let's see what the text comes out to, because that might... Okay. No, the text result is the same. InuYasha, do you smell something? I think that could change the context. From the English version, Sango asking, "Can you smell anything?" would make it seem more like she's asking if he could give a quick smell and see if he picks up anything. But from the translation, it could come off as that, or it could also come off as Sango notices that InuYasha seems a little bothered by something, so she's asking if he is smelling something. But since he goes up to the cave entrance and gives a sniff, like... Eh. Let's see. In the English version, InuYasha says, "I can smell humans and demons." Okay, the screenshot result came out weird, so let's try to grab the text for that. Okay. Where the hell is it grabbing that from? Get out of here. Something about this doesn't really come off right. From the text result, it comes out as, yeah, it smells human and yokai, but let's see if I can mess with something. Okay. Swapping something around, it changes to, yeah, I smell both human and yokai. Okay, no, that actually works better. Although I think this might be a bit of a stretch for a translation, but I think it could also come off as, yeah, I smell humans, but I'm also smelling demons. Even though he didn't, he didn't say the usual Japanese word for but I do think that could also work.
みんな、私から離れるなよ。
In the English version here, Miroku warns, everybody stay close to me. Which, okay. Let's see what the screenshot has. Okay, interesting result. From the screenshot, Miroku apparently is saying, everyone, don't leave me. I mean, I'm definitely going to throw that into the text to see if that gets anything different. But I think an alternative already could be, everyone, don't leave my side. I beg your pardon. That is very much not... Okay, no, I actually need to fix things here. Let's see. Wow, okay, so I actually need to go to here. Okay. Okay, that part. Okay, hold on. This might take a bit. Let's look for some of these. I don't think that's... No, I think I need hiragana for that. Yeah, that looks right, so let's look for what I actually need. think that one. Yeah. Let's see. What's the other one here? Oh, I see it. There we go. And what is that character? That's gotta be a kanji. I think I need to find... Okay. That. There we go. So with the text fixed up, Miroku is apparently saying, "Everybody, don't leave my side." Which, yeah, no, I actually figured that would have been the case. Huh. Yeah, rather than the screenshot trying to have him say, "Don't leave me." Yeah, "Don't leave my side" makes a lot more sense.
なんでお前が威張るんじゃ。
Let's see. This one's definitely gonna take a little bit. In the English version, Shippo asks, "Why are you telling us what to do?" From the screenshot translation, though, Shippo instead is asking, "Why are you acting all arrogant?" Alright. From the text... Yeah, no, he's saying pretty much the same thing. Interesting.
気分ですよ。
Okay, no, that's interesting. In the English version, Miroku just says, "I feel like it." So, English version, Miroku's just acting arrogant because he feels like being arrogant. Alright. From the screenshot... Okay. From the screenshot result, Miroku instead is saying, "I'm in the mood." Okay. Okay. Let's see what the text has. The same result. Miroku just laughs and just says, "Because I'm in the mood." Okay. I mean, contextually, it's not much different from the English version, but I still think it's funny.
やっぱり軽いかも。
In the English version, Kururugi responds with, "I think he's just conceited." Let's see what the translation here comes out to. Because this is coming out a little fun. From the screenshot... That's a little weird. From the screenshot translation, Kururugi is apparently saying, "Maybe it's light after all." We'll see. What does the text say? Same thing. I think this might be Kururugi referring to their thought before they left the village, saying that they don't know if Miroku's being lighthearted or serious. Regarding the situation, so I think what Kururugi's trying to say here is seems he's taking it lightly. Something along those lines. Like, he's not taking the situation as seriously as he probably should. Is more or less what Kururugi's trying to get at here in the Japanese version. I don't know why the English version instead had Kururugi say, I think he's just conceited. Since we can wander around, I'm actually going to take this time to go for a quick break. And we're back.
あんたたちそこで何してるの？
Let's see. In the English version, Kururugi questions, "What are you guys doing there?" Surprisingly, the screenshot translation result comes out the exact same. So let's double check the text. Same thing, so yeah, alright.
俺たち何にもしてねえぜ。
In the English version, the demon just responds with, "Huh? Nothing." Let's see. From the screenshot result, the yokai is saying, "Huh? We didn't do anything." Interesting. From the text. Yeah, no, that comes out the same. Yeah, why the hell would the English version cut it down so much? They absolutely could have fit, "We didn't do anything," instead of just going, "Nothing."
そうだよ。金を数えてただけだよ。
In the English version, the other demon says, "Yeah, we're just counting money." From the screenshot translation, the yokai is saying, "That's right, I was just counting money." I think it probably should be, "We were just counting money." Let's see. The tax result comes out to, "That's right, I was just counting the money." I mean, they don't have the oretachi or anything similar, so I guess it could be I was just counting money, but I do think I'd go with we were just counting money. So wording is just a little different from the English version, but I do think changing the "I was just counting money" to we were from "I was" to "we were," I think it would be fine.
聞かせてもらおうか。それは誰の金だ？
Let's see. In the English version, Songo asks, "Tell us, whose money is that?" from the screenshot. Oh, wrong one. The screenshot result seems a little broken because Songo's apparently asking, "Let me tell you, whose money is it?" So let's take that to text and see if that fixes anything. I'm gonna need to add something here because it's cutting out a thing. Let's see. I mean, as is, before I add what's missing, the translation for Songo does come out better than the screenshot. With Songo asking, "Let me ask you this, whose money is that?" Which, yeah. But let's try and get those missing characters. Are they? That's one. What's that other one? There it is. Huh! Funny. When I add the two characters that the translator missed for me to copy, the translation result from Songo is, "Tell me, whose money is that?" But if I get rid of them, it comes out as, honestly, a better, "Let me ask you this, whose money is that?" I think that a better translation result then would be from Songo. "Then let me ask you a question. Whose money is that?" Because then it also includes the full stop instead of turning it into a colon like the translation result was giving me when I cut out the two hiragana characters that were missing. Alright. Only for the yokai to, in the English version, angrily just yell out, "Shut up!" But from the Japanese, like, there's a very noticeable, like, build-up of, "Shut up!" Which does seem to be what the screenshot translation comes out to. It's like, it's a building growl of annoyance or frustration before shouting, "Shut up." Yeah, the text translation has it as, "Shut up!" Okay. I think they're treated as bosses here? I'm not sure, so I will try using the wind tunnel. If this works, I'll... It actually worked! I didn't think it would!
成敗いたしましたな。ま、こんなもんでしょう。
I mean, to be fair, they didn't have the boss intro, like loading into the fight. So I didn't think they'd have the boss coding, but you never know. And they are also just basically regular enemies that you could just fight anywhere. So figured I'd try it. I wasn't expecting it to work. All right.
許してくれ。俺たちが悪かった。
Let's see. In the English version, the demon cries out, "Forgive us! It was our fault!" Let's see. From the screenshot. The screenshot result, it comes out as, "Forgive us! It was our fault!" Okay, so not too different from the English version. Okay.
あんたたちが何をしたのか全部話して。
In the English version, Kururugi demands, "Tell us everything you did, now!" From the screenshot result, Kururugi instead apparently says, "Tell me everything you guys did." I think it should be "tell us everything," but we'll see what the text comes out with. No, same result. Okay. Double check some of the characters, make sure nothing's missing or been morphed, because that has happened. Okay. So yeah, no, I guess the result here would just be, "Tell us everything you guys did." Yeah, okay.
あたしらは村のやつから金をもらってただけよ。
Let's see. In the English version, the demon responds with, "All we did was get some money from a villager." From the screenshot results, the yokai says, "We were just getting money from the villagers." Text result isn't too different, but has "I was just getting money from the villagers," so I would say the screenshot result of "we were just getting money" is more accurate. Because it's a group of 3, so yeah.
金？誰からもらっていたというのだ？
Let's see. In the English version, Miroku asks, "Money? Who did you get it from?" Which is also what the screenshot translation comes with, so let's just check the text in case it's any different. No? Okay. Let's see.
弱そうな女からかな。
In the English version, the demon says, I think it was a pathetic-looking woman. From the screenshot translation, the yokai instead says, from a weak-looking woman, perhaps? And then, let's just double-check the text. The text result isn't too different. Instead saying, maybe it's from a weak-looking woman? So, two possibilities I'd go with, and it would be borrowing from the English version. Either, I think from a weak-looking woman, or from a weak-looking human, I think? Either of those would probably be better. Although, sure, you could still use pathetic-looking, because weak-looking and pathetic-looking are pretty similar.
それは奪ったということだな。
In the English version, Miroku responds with, that means you stole that money. From the Japanese translation of a weak-looking woman, I would be more inclined to go with that route rather than pathetic-looking, because, oh, they look weak, so I'm going to take it. Pathetic-looking is dubious a little. From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, does that mean you stole it? Let's see. From the text result, it's not too different from the screenshot. Just changed slightly to, does that mean it was stolen?
ああ、まあ、そういうことになるのかしら。でも、ちょっとだけなの。
Let's see. In the English version, the demon responds with, is that what you would call it? But we only took a little bit. From the screenshot result, it does come off a little weird with the yokai saying, well, will that happen? But only a little bit. I definitely think that needs to be reworded, so let's grab the text. Okay, I'm not seeing anything weird going on. So, from the text result... Okay, no, the text result's definitely better. With the yokai saying, well, I guess that's what it comes down to? But only a little. So I do think I'd go with the text result. They'll expand the but only a little to, but we only took a little.
少しだと?
Let's see. In the English version, Rogu has a weird reaction of a little. From the screenshot. Sorry, something in my throat. From the screenshot results, Miroku apparently saying if it's just a little. Let's see. Text result has Miroku saying just a little. Let's see.
そうよ。その後ぶっ殺したりしてないよ。
Alright, so this was where it started feeling a little weird in the English version, so I wonder how the Japanese version's gonna take this. In the English version, the demon said, yes, and we didn't kill her. From the screenshot translation, the yokai says, yes, we didn't kill anyone after that. Okay. So that might be where the difference is. The text result comes out the same with, that's right, we didn't kill anyone after that. Okay, yeah, no, that might be where the issue is, because the English version, the demon specifically says we didn't kill her. So they only took a little bit of money from the woman, but didn't kill her. From the Japanese version, they only took a little bit of money from the woman, but after that, they didn't kill anybody. So an assumption being, they still killed the woman. And that might be what Miroku kind of goes off the handle for.
殺す
Okay, yeah, this is a multi-parter. And, yeah, in the English version, it makes it seem like Miroku has selective hearing. Because he repeats, kill? Because then it makes it seem like he didn't hear, we didn't kill her, and instead heard it as, we killed her. But from the Japanese version, if the translation of we didn't kill anyone after that is accurate, then Miroku repeating kill makes a bit more sense, because he's likely thinking, so they took a little bit of the woman's money and then killed her. Let's see. Let's see where this goes.
ということは、祖国庫に散らばる骨は
Oh, shit, this is more than a two-parter. In the English version, Miroku questions, what about all these bones scattered everywhere? From the screenshot result... that comes out a little weird. With the screenshot translation apparently having Miroku say, that means there, those scattered bones. Let's... Oh. We're getting weird shit again. Alright. Let's try to fix that. This is gonna be a bit. This is going to be a bit. Let's see. Let's place all of this, or at least this part. You. No, wait. Hmm. Double check. Oh, no. There we go. I just had the wrong one there. That's that. This one. One. This one and this one. Okay. So from the text result, so far, Miroku is saying kill. That means those bones scattered here and there.
貴様ら金を奪いしかも殺したのか
Yeah, okay. This is where things got really weird in the English version. Because here, Miroku asks, do you mean you took her money and killed her? And I kind of went off. Because in the English version, the yokai did say that they did not kill the woman. But in the Japanese version, they leave it a bit more vague, just saying that after they got the money, they didn't kill anyone after that. From the screenshot result, yeah, that actually doesn't look any good. So let's just grab the text. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay. From the text result, from start to finish, all three parts, Miroku says kill. Oh, hold on. That means those bones scattered here and there. You guys stole the money and then killed her? Again, the Japanese version left it vague. The demons only said that once they got the money, or that after they got the money, they they only stopped killing people after they got the money. They didn't say that they didn't kill the woman. The English version, though, they did say they did not kill the woman, but then Miroku says, you took the money and then killed her. And I just kind of lost my mind a little, saying, they just said they didn't. Suggesting then that the English version tried to give Miroku selective hearing.
いいじゃねえかよ。な、金やるからよ。だから許して。
So from the Japanese version, it makes the yokai's response make a bit more sense. Because for the English version, they should have said, what? No, we just told you we didn't kill anyone. But in the English version, the demon responds with, come on, it's okay. We'll give you the money. Just leave us alone. From the screenshot translation, though, the yokai says, that's fine, I'll give you some money, so please forgive me. Let's grab the text for that. From the text result, the yokai instead says, "It's okay, I'll give you some money, so please forgive us." So again, with the Japanese version, the yokai being vague, not saying that they didn't kill the woman that they took the money from, there's still the implication that they did kill the woman, and then just didn't kill anyone after that. And so Miroku, of course, getting mad that they stole money from a helpless woman and then killed her. So the yokai's trying to bribe him, like, hey, if we give you some of the money and leave us alone, like, we could forget that all of this happened. But it's Miroku.
許さん
And then English version, Miroku just responds with, "No way." From the screenshot, it transliterated, so I can't do anything with that. Taking the text. For some reason, the text translated as "I'll forgive you," but I think it's supposed to be "I'll never forgive you." Or "I won't forgive you."
明るい未来を持つ命、温かな今を守る命、古い知恵を伝える命。
Okay. So this was also a little weird to me. Only because I don't recall Miroku ever saying this at all in the anime. So this kind of coming up felt a little weird. And I know he has some kind of similar incantation in Yashahime, but this doesn't seem anything like it because it's talking from both the English and from the translation I'm getting, it's talking about something different. But in the English version, Miroku says, "Life that has a bright future, life that is warm in the present, life that passes on old wisdom." From the screenshot results, Miroku is saying, "Life with a bright future, life that protects the warm present, life that passes on ancient wisdom." So it seems to be like fully intact here. But there's a second half, so we'll see what happens. I mean, the text result changes it slightly to "a life with a bright future, a life that protects the warm present, a life that passes on ancient wisdom."
その美しい命を己の欲でたやすく散らすとは貴様らこれは仏罰と知れ
Okay. In the English version, Miroku continues with, "This beautiful life, through your own selfish desires, you have so easily destroyed. You've sinned against Lord Buddha." From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, "How dare you so easily throw away such a beautiful life because of your own greed? You all should know this is Buddha's punishment." Okay. So the first half was was directly translated. The second half, the English version took some liberties. Let's see. With both halves, okay. Okay, the text result did change it slightly. So the whole thing comes out as lives with a bright future, lives protecting the warm present, lives passing on ancient wisdom. How dare you so easily squander such beautiful lives with your own greed? You should know that this is Buddha's punishment. I do think I would kind of prefer it to be a life with a bright future, a life that protects the warm present, a life that passes on ancient wisdom. How dare you so easily squander such a beautiful life with your own greed? And then you should know that this is Buddha's punishment. Although I wouldn't be against changing that last one to you all should know that this is Buddha's punishment, because he's referring to all three. That would only make sense.
仇は撃った。無念の魂を成仏いたせ。
In the English version, Miroku says, "Vengeance is mine. May their souls rest in peace." Which seems a little extra, but okay. From the screenshot translation, though, Miroku says, "I have defeated my enemy. May your regretful souls rest in peace." Let's check with the text. Okay, slightly different. From the text translation, Miroku says, "I have defeated my enemy. May your souls, filled with regret, attain enlightenment." I mean, the English version with the "May their souls rest in peace" matches up a bit better with the screenshots, "May your regretful souls rest in peace." But in regards to Miroku, I do think "May your souls filled with regret attain enlightenment." Under the idea that this is supposed to be a continuation of an incantation of sorts, or a prayer, whatever. The English version still having "vengeance is mine" is a little weird, so the "I have defeated my enemy" works.
奉仕様。
I don't need to translate that. That just seems more like Sango being impressed. In the English version, she just says Miroku. So the Japanese version here would be monk.
いつもはヘラヘラしてて、締めるところは締めるってすごくかっこよくない？
And we have Kururugi's Inner Thoughts, which is at least a two-parter. But it does seem a little different. In the English version, Kururugi's Inner Thoughts here are, although he's usually frivolous, he packs a punch at the most crucial moment. That's so cool. From the screenshot translation, Kururugi's inner thoughts are currently, "Isn't it really cool that he's always smiling and stern when it matters?" So, the context is similar enough. It doesn't talk about Miroku, like, being usually frivolous. Just, like, the thoughts being, Damn, he looks really cool when he's like this. Oh. Oh, this... I kind of like this. From the text result, the first part of Kururugi's inner thoughts are, he's usually all smiles, but he's also serious when it matters. Isn't that so cool?
私、弥勒様のことを誤解してたかも。
In the English version, Kururugi's thoughts conclude with, maybe I was wrong about Miroku. Let's see what this half has. From the screenshot, Kururugi's inner thoughts conclude with, I think I misunderstood Miroku-sama. Let's see what happens when I slap it on at the end of the text. It did reword the result, unfortunately, and changed the whole thing to, he's always smiling, but he's so cool when it matters. Maybe I misunderstood Miroku. I think I would instead take it as, he's usually all smiles, but he's also serious when it matters. Isn't that so cool? Maybe I misunderstood Miroku. Actually, give me a sec. I want to check that first one again. No, I think I actually like the screenshot version better. With Kururugi starting, isn't it really cool that he's always smiling, but stern when it matters? And then concluding with, I think I misunderstood Miroku-sama. Yeah, no, that kind of comes off a bit better. Like, she does find it, or this likely also applies to Michiru because, again, Michiru has this event too, the only difference being when Miroku asks Kaname to bear his child. So I do think Michiru and Kaname have the same inner thoughts here, so both of them thinking that Miroku is really cool, that he is usually, like, always smiling, but when it really matters, he gets incredibly stern and focused.
生き残っている人を探しましょう。
Let's see. Wow, I didn't think this event would take so long. Holy shit. In the English version, Miroku says, let's look for the rest that are still alive. Granted, the only reason it's taking so long is because I'm translating it, but as you do, it's a new event that is route-specific too, so... From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, let's find the survivors. From the text result, Miroku instead says, let's search for survivors. Which I do think would be better than the English version. So let's look for the rest that are still alive, because it is shorter and gets to the point faster of, let's just look to see if anyone else is still alive. And then Sango just agrees, so I don't need to translate that. The English version, she says, okay. The translated result could be, okay, sure, yeah, anything along those lines.
Hi.
And Kaname, or Kururugi saying, yes, could also be right. Or whatever.
なんでおめえまで返事してんだ?
And then InuYasha, recognizing that he's lost protagonist privileges. In the English version, he asks, "Why are you answering to him?" From the screenshot result, InuYasha asks, "Why did you even reply?" I do think that could also be, why did you even respond? Let's see. Text translation result comes out as, "Why are you even replying?" Contextually, they're all pretty the same. I think I would take the text translation result of, "Why are you even replying?" But, whatever. Oh, right. I actually have to run around for this, too.
牢屋じゃ。人がいっぱいおるぞ。
Let's see. In the English version, Shippo says, "It's a prison. There's a lot of people in there." From the screenshot result, Shippo says, "It's a prison. There are a lot of people here." I mean, it's not too different from the English version, so let's just see what the text has. Text results actually, I think, works better. The text translation for Shippo comes out as, "It's a jail cell. It's full of people." Yeah, I think that actually works better. Hold on. I want to load this one up first. Because the English version seemed a little weird, so I want to see what the translation comes out to. Okay. So the English version is weird. In the English version, Miroku says almost demandingly, "Open the jail door." Almost like he thinks someone's at the door to open it, or he's trying to tell the others to open it, or who knows what. But from the translation off the screenshot, he instead says, "I'll open the cell immediately," saying that he's going to be the one to do it. Let's see what the text result has. From the text result, it also has Miroku say, "Open the cell immediately," like he's ordering someone to do it. I think, for the moment, I'd go with the screenshot result of Miroku saying that he'll open this cell. Because it's like, oh, he's going to be the rescuer. It fades to black, though, so we don't know.
さあ、娘たちよ。私がお前を助けたものだ。
Let's see. And, in the usual Miroku fashion, in the English version, he says, "Come on, girls. I'm here to save you." From the screenshot translation, he says, "Come on, girls. I'm the one who saved you." God damn it, Miroku. From the text results, it's pretty much the same thing. "Come on, girls. I am the one who saved you." I mean, they're pretty much the same. And yeah, Kururugi just being surprised, like, "I'm sorry, what?"
あ
ありがとう存じます。
Let's see. In the English version, the woman says, "Thank you so much." From the screenshot result, she instead says, "Thank you very much." I mean, same meaning, really. Let's just check the text. Yeah, it comes out as "thank you very much," so, yeah, whatever.
助かりました。
In the English version, the other woman says, "Thank you." From the screenshot, she instead says, "Thank you for your help." The text result, little eh, as that was a big help, so I think I'd instead go with the screenshot result of "Thank you for your help."
あら、いい男。
Let's see. Okay. In the English version, this other woman says, "Boy, you are handsome." From the screenshot result, she instead says, "Oh, nice guy." I think a better translation would be, "Oh, such a nice man." We'll see. Let's grab the text. Okay. The text translation comes out as, "Oh, what a handsome man." Yeah, that works a lot better.
もう大丈夫だ。さあ、一安心したところで、誰か私の子を産んではくれんか。
God damn it, Miroku! Like, you don't even wait on this one. In the English version, Miroku says, "Well, now that you are all okay, would one of you like to be the mother of my children?" Also, remember, the old man said some of his daughters were in here. They never said how old they were. From the screenshot translation result, it does look a little weird. And I mean, not just from Miroku's usual shenanigans. From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, "It's okay now. Now that I'm relieved, can someone please give birth to my child?" I mean, aside from the Mirokuism, I think the "now that I'm relieved" should be now that you're relieved, or now that you're free. I don't know, but we'll see when I throw that in the text, or when I use the text translator. Okay, the text result is not too different from the screenshot result, with the only difference being, instead of "now that I'm relieved," it's "now that I can relax." Otherwise, it's the exact same thing, starting with "it's okay now" and ending with "can someone please give birth to my child?" God damn it.
奉仕様。
I don't even need to translate that. That's... in the English version, they have Sango say, "Hey, Miroku," like she's getting annoyed, but the Japanese version makes it seem more like she's taken, like, she is annoyed from the expression on her face, but it makes her sound like she's more surprised. By going, Monk?
真面目だったり軽かったり、本当弥勒様って。
I'm looking forward to this translation because the English version is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. In the English version, Kaname, or again, this could also apply to Michiru. It's been a while since I've done this event as Michiru, so I don't remember, and that's gonna be a while. Kururugi says, sometimes he's serious, then he's downright stupid. Miroku is really something. From the screenshot translation, Kururugi says, sometimes serious, sometimes frivolous. Miroku is truly... And there's mention of frivolous that was used in the English version near the start of the event. From the text translation, though, Kururugi instead is saying, sometimes he's serious, sometimes he's rude. Really? I mean, they didn't use baka, so the Japanese version isn't saying he's stupid. I don't think I'd say rude. Frivolous is maybe. But but I think I'd rather have it go as sometimes he's serious, sometimes he's careless. Miroku really is. And then just trailing off because, like, they have no words. Let's see. And then, yeah, like, when we return, there's also a couple of little kids here, so... Miroku, when you were asking if someone would bear your child... What the fuck? Let's see. In the English version, the old woman says, honey, I'm back. From the screenshot... Actually, yeah, no, it's pretty much the same. Anata can have different meanings depending on context. Usually it's used as, like, you when referring to someone, but in this context, it would be, like, husband or dear, or, as the English version has it, honey, so... probably, like, my dear, I'm back, or something like that. So, English version is fine. I don't even need to translate that. That's father or dad. Or, since they're little kids, daddy, probably. Again.
みんな帰ってきてくれたのかい
Okay, multi-parter. In the English version, the old man cries out, oh, you all came back! From the screenshot, screenshot actually only gets half of it translated, so I'm not gonna bother. Let's go with the text, because that is just weird. But I think it's supposed to be, oh, everyone, you came back? Let's see. I was pretty close. From the text result, it's, oh, everyone, have you come back? I actually think it could be, you've all come back.
幸せだ。女房が5人に娘が10人も帰ってきてくれるんだからよ。
In the English version, he says, I'm so happy. My 5 wives and 10 daughters all came back to me. Even though it only shows 3 models. From the screenshot result, he says, I'm so happy. My 5 wives and 10 daughters. Because you've all come back. Let's double check the text on that. Especially since I can just slap on the end here. Oh, here we go. With both halves together, the translation for Mohachi the Old Man is, oh, everyone, have you all come back? I'm so happy. My 5 wives and 10 daughters are coming back. In the English version, Kururugi just questions, is he really happy? From the screenshot, Kururugi instead questions, is that happiness? I mean, people who are into polygamy will probably say so, but... From the... Oh, hold on. From the text results, Kururugi instead is saying, is this happiness?
ある意味、三国一の幸せ者なのでしょうな。
Okay. Let's see here. In the English version, Miroku says, in some ways, he's the happiest man in the world. From the screenshot... Interesting choice! From the screenshot, Miroku's translation comes out as, in a way, he's the luckiest man in the 3 kingdoms. Just interesting that they mentioned the 3 kingdoms. Let's see what the text comes out to. Okay, it picked up something weird, but for now... The text translation comes out to, in a sense, he is perhaps the happiest man in the 3 kingdoms. Now, let's get rid of the junk. And it comes out to, in some ways, I think he's the happiest man in the 3 kingdoms. Yeah, like, that does line up better, because it includes he's the happiest man. Instead of luckiest man, when Kururugi was asking if this was happiness. So, Miroku saying luckiest just doesn't really make sense.
よくわからんが、弥勒は心底羨ましそうじゃな。
Although, in the English version, Shippo follows up with, I don't really get it, but I think Miroku is envious of that man. So, Miroku saying that he's the luckiest man could make sense in that context, but... let's see what the translation comes out to. From the screenshot translation, Shippo says, I don't really get it, but Miroku seems genuinely jealous. Yeah. From the text translation results, it is pretty much the exact same, just swapping out jealous for envious. Either one works in that case. And that's it. That's it for that. But I did do a save state, so let's load back to the map. Because there's a secret event here in Coyote's village. But we'll get to that after this quick break. And we're back. And this is an event that I absolutely need to grab. But there was no question mark above it. So what event could possibly be here? It is a very secret event that only Kaname has access to.
おお、お前さんか。どうじゃ、こっちの世界には少しは慣れたか?
Whenever the the optional events are open up on the world map, Kaname can just come to Coyote's village, to this spot, and Miyoga will be here. So why is this necessary? Well, this is where Kaname gets her rainbow seed for the mystery field event. Michiru gets it in Minamo village much later on. This is the earliest point that Kaname can get hers, and the rainbow seed and gold seed both give different events for Michiru and Kaname. In the English version, Miyoga here says, "Oh, it's you. So, have you gotten used to this world yet?" From the screenshot translation, Miyoga says, "Oh, it's you. How about it? Have you gotten used to this world a little?" Let's grab the text. Not too different, with Miyoga saying, "Oh, it's you. How about it? Have you gotten used to this world?" Personally, I do think there's a better story point where this could happen, and although I don't know if it can happen there, but it would be the perfect point instead of just whenever these special events are, and they could have made it a mandatory thing, although considering it's where Kaname gets a rainbow seed, considering all of them are all of the seeds are optional, just force giving a seed would be a little weird, I guess.
Miyoga-san, みんな親切にしてくれるから大丈夫.
In the English version, Kaname says, "Yes, Miyoga. Everyone is so kind to me, so I'm okay." From the screenshot, Kaname instead says, "Oh, Miyoga-san. Everyone's been so kind to me, so it's okay." Let's grab the text. From the text result, yeah, the text result is the exact same. "Oh, Miyoga-san. Everyone's been so kind to me, so it's okay."
あ、そう、ああ、それはよかった。ところで、
Two-parter from Miyoga. In the English version, Miyoga asks, "Is that right? I'm glad. I was wondering." From the screenshot results, Miyoga says, "Oh yeah? That's good. By the way..." Let's grab the text. Okay, no, that comes out a little better. From the text translation so far, Miyoga says, "Oh, that's good to hear. By the way..."
お前の血を少し飲ませてくれんか。腹が減ってもう死にそうなんじゃ。
Okay, more than 2 parts. Okay. Now this is a little interesting because the English version, Miyoga tries to play it up more than it is. In the English version, Miyoga says, "Could I suck some of your blood? I'm so hungry, I feel I could just die." From the screenshot results, Miyoga is apparently saying, "Can I drink some of your blood? I'm starving and about to die." This is kind of why I think it would make a bit more sense for this event to happen a bit later after a certain story point when Kaname is when Kaname is by herself. I do wish Michiru also had access to this event, but unfortunately he doesn't. I think it would be interesting if he did, but whatever. The text translation result isn't any different from the screenshot result. It's still, "Can I drink some of your blood? I'm starving and about to die." The reason why I say it makes more sense for this to happen later is if Kaname is with the full party, or even partial party, and InuYasha is there, we already know how addicted to InuYasha's blood Miyoga is. So, why would he specifically ask Kaname? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's see. From the English version, Miyoga concludes here with, "I'll give you something nice in return." From the Japanese version, he starts with gulp, like he's trying to pull back some drool, I guess. Because he's so hungry he's drooling or something. From the screenshot results, Miyoga says, "I'll give you something nice." He says, "I'll give you something nice as a thank you." Let's set this in with the rest of the text and see what the final result is. Okay. So from start to finish, the text translation for Miyoga is, "Oh, that's good to hear. By the way, could I drink some of your blood? I'm starving and about to die." I do think that part could be changed to, "I'm starving and feel like I could die." Or feeling like I'm going to die. Yeah, whatever. But then concludes with, "As a thank you, I'll give you something nice." And then you do have a choice. And we want to say yes. Because then we get the seed that we want. If we say no, he fucks off forever. In the English version, Miyoga says, "Now we're talking. Well then." from the screenshot results, Myoga says, "Oh, you're a reasonable person. Well then." Let's see, from the text results. Yeah, no, same thing. Okay.
Usso, なんかシャレにならんの。もっと栄養をつけなしゃれ。
In the English version, Myoga says, "It's kind of oily. Don't you think you should cut down on the oil?" So, implying that Kaname eats a lot of oily foods. From the Japanese version, it starts with an usu, implying, I think that's the sound he makes when he finishes drinking blood. Just kind of like a satisfied sigh, like, ah, I'm full. From the screenshot, the rest of it though, from the screenshot results, has Myoga apparently saying, "It's no joke. You need to eat more nutrition." Let's see what the text has. The text translation is a little worse, with Myoga apparently just saying, "This is no joke. You need to eat more." So I think the implication here is that Myoga is saying that Kaname needs to eat healthier. The English version probably didn't really know how to really go about that, so they instead just have Myoga say, "Your blood kind of has an oily taste to it, so kind of cut back on any oily foods." So I think it should be like, this is no joke. You're gonna have to eat healthier. Or something close to that.
では、約束のいいものじゃ。大切に使うんじゃぞ。
Let's see. In the English version, Myoga says, "As I promised, here's something nice for you. Take good care of it." From the screenshot results, Myoga says, "Well, here's the good thing I promised you. Be sure to treasure it." It should be nice thing, because that's what the previous translation had for it, but whatever. It's a multi-parter. We'll see if that changes. From the text result, I don't know why there's a dot there, but okay. The text result also has it come out as, "Well, here's the good thing I promised you. Be sure to treasure it." We'll see.
それではまた。
In the English version, he concludes with, "Bye for now." And from the screenshot, Myoga says, "See you then." I don't think this will change the previous one much, but we'll see. No, it doesn't, and actually just makes the last part a little weirder, so... I think, instead of see you then, it could probably be... Well then, see you! And there's the rainbow seed. Or rainbow-colored seed, but whatever. And, now we just, get going then. I'm just gonna save here real quick.
なんだこのひでえ匂いは。
どうしたの、犬夜叉？
どうしたもこうしたも向こうからひでえ匂いがするんだよ。
そう？私は何も匂わないけど。
犬夜叉の花は人よりもはるかに優れていますからな。
そうなんだ。じゃあ匂いの元が何なのか調べに行こう。いいもの見つけちゃった。いいもの見つけちゃった。確かにすごい匂い。
And here we learned that InuYasha cannot handle garlic. Neither can Shippo, but he apparently can handle it better than InuYasha. But any dog-based yokai, not a chance. Which also means Sesshomaru should be absolutely fucking floored by this shit.
そうじゃろうそうじゃろう。
これってニンニク？
そうじゃよ。匂いが強ければ強いほど需要競争にいいんじゃ。お前さん、一つ持っていくかね。
今日は遠慮しときます。
そうか、残念じゃの。
匂いに当てられたようだね。
優れた能力を持つというのも大変なものですな、犬夜叉殿。
I don't know why, but that just sounds a lot funnier than the English versions. Help me! Like, he actually sounds like he's suffering here.
これは何だろう。大きなわらじ？違うよね。
おお、旅の方、それを手に取るとはお目が高い。
目が高いとは目が出てるってことじゃろうか。
ってことは喧嘩売ってんのかこの親父。
そんなわけないじゃない。いいものを見つけたってことよ。
おお、この大きな履物がの。
これは短敷といってな。これさえあればどんな雪の上でも足が沈まずに歩けるという優れものなんじゃ。
あ、それなら学校で習った。
どうだい、欲しくなったじゃろ。今なら安くしとくよ。買っていかんかね。
いらね
この辺では間違っても雪なんか降りませんしな。
ほらごらん、行商に騙されてそんなもの仕入れちゃって。まったく邪魔だったらない。
はあ、俺って才能ないのかな。しょん
なんかかわいそう。
そういえば皆さん、泊まるところはお決まりですか？この先はもう宿はありませんよ。もし宿が必要ならぜひうちにお泊まりください。宿とは言っても大したことはないんですけど。
Stay the night.
お泊まりですか。それではこちらへ。こちらでございます。どうぞごゆっくり。
どうですか、InuYasha様。今日は一日休みということになさってはいかがでしょうか。
ああ、そうだな。そうすっか。
今日は誰と一緒に過ごしたい？
I know we just took a break, but we're gonna get into another Miroku Day Off event that I'm gonna need to translate, and that's gonna take a bit. So, we're gonna take one more quick break, and we're back. Now, let's hang out with Miroku.
お付き合いいたしましょう。
Okay. So from the Japanese version, Sangha just seems more suspiciously intrigued, I think? Like raising an eyebrow kind of thing. From the English version, though, they actually have Miroku come off as a bit annoyed, like she's grumbling a bit.
どうしました？怖い目をして。
Let's see. Okay, there we go. In the English version, Miroku responds with, "What happened? Why do you look so mad?" From the screenshot... Ooh! Interesting! From the screenshot, Miroku asks, "What's wrong? You look scary." Which is also what the text result comes out to. Honestly though, I am... let's see. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling. Sorry, I was just checking something. Rogue is saying that Sangha looks scary, or another way to read it, if you take out kawaii, is that he's talking about Sanga's eyes, so it could be you have a scary look in your eyes. Or what's with the scary look? But then it's just ignored.
私も付き合うよ。じゃあ私は買い物に行こうかな。
いいの。オラも付き合うぞ。
それでは参りましょうか。
あれ、弥勒様。
Alright, here we go. In the English version, Kaname's inner thoughts are, where's Miroku? From the screenshot, Kaname's inner thoughts are, huh? Miroku? Let's see. Text should be the same. Not really. Text translation result has to come out as, oh, Miroku? Interesting for InuYasha walk up, especially when he paired off with Songo for this run. In the English version, he paired off with Kagome instead, so whatever. In the English version, InuYasha asks, "What are you doing?" Which is also what the screenshot comes out with. And what the text result comes out with. Sure, no problem.
ねえ、犬夜叉、弥勒様は見なかった？
In the English version, Kaname asks, "Hey, InuYasha, have you seen Miroku?" From the screenshot, Kaname asks, "Hey, InuYasha." Okay, no, that translation came out weird. Apparently, from the screenshot, Kaname is asking, "Hey, InuYasha, Miroku-sama, did you not see it?" I feel like it is supposed to be, "Have you seen Miroku?" Which, like, that actually would match up with the English version, so let's see the text. Yep, okay. Text translation actually does match up with the English version. Alright.
ああ、弥勒なら森の入り口あたりにいたぜ。
Let's see. In the English version, InuYasha said, "I saw him at the edge of the forest." From the screenshot translation, InuYasha says, Miroku was near the entrance to the forest. Let's see. Yeah, text result comes out the same as the screenshot, so Miroku was near the entrance to the forest. I think in this case, InuYasha's response could be yeah instead of ah. In which case, then, I think a translation could be, yeah, I saw him near the entrance to the forest, or, yeah, he was near the entrance to the forest. Either of those, I think, would work fine.
ありがとう。行ってみるね。
In the English version, Kaname says, "Thank you. I'll go look there." From the screenshot result, Kaname says, "Thanks, I'll try there." From the text. For the text result, Kaname apparently instead says, "Thanks, I'll check it out." I do think "I'll check there" or "I'll try there" would be better. Or even the English versions, "I'll look there" would be fine. Starting off with a shorter thanks instead of thank you is perfectly fine. Wrong way to the forest, but okay.
弥勒様
I don't need to throw this in the translator. This is pretty easy. But in the English version, they have Kaname call out Miroku. But here in the Japanese version, she approaches him and hesitantly says, "Miroku." Which, interesting context because considering the subject matter they're about to handle.
何ですか?
In the English version, Miroku asks, "What is it?" Which I think the translation result will turn out as well. I mean, similar. The screenshot result has Miroku just ask, "What?" Let's grab the text. Okay, text result comes out as, "What is it?" So yeah, that "what is it" honestly would be a bit better.
私弥勒様の秘密聞いてしまったんです。
Yeah, no, the Japanese version is definitely making Kaname treat this with a bit more weight, because she's definitely speaking more hesitantly than the English version. Because in the English version, she walks up to Miroku and just straight up says, "I heard your secret." That is not delicate at all. Delicate is what I was looking for. She's trying to treat the conversation she wants to have with him more delicately. From the screenshot translation, Kaname says, "I overheard Miroku-sama's secret." I think another way to read that would be, "I ended up overhearing your secret." Or being told your secret. Let's see. The text result comes out the same with, "I overheard Miroku-sama's secret." So I do think they're trying to go with the "I overheard" or "I heard." But I still think, in that case, then the translation could be as, "I overheard your secret." Otherwise, I do think changing it to, "I've been told about your secret." And that could work fine, but "I overheard your secret" is perfectly fine.
私の秘密? それは何のことですか?
But, Rogue has no idea what she's talking about because she's being incredibly vague. This is, for the most part, the same between Michiru and Kaname as well, just considering the topic here. In the English version, Miroku asks, "My secret? What are you talking about?" From the screenshot translation, Miroku asks, "My secret? What does that mean?" I could also accept "what do you mean" as a possible translation. Just may as well check the text. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, okay. From the text result, Miroku asks, my secret? What do you mean? Which I do think would work better. The English version having what are you talking about is fine, but I do think Miroku would ask, what do you mean? Because either he's... Because... that could be taken as either, I have a bunch of secrets, which one are you talking about? Or, I don't keep secrets, so what are you talking about?
その右手の風穴、それがどんどん大きくなって。
Ooh. Ooh, I like how the Japanese text is like this, ending on an ellipses here. In the English version, Kaname says, the wind tunnel that's on your right hand, that it will grow bigger and bigger. The screenshot translation is a little wonky. Coming out with that the wind hole on the right hand side, it's getting bigger and bigger. Let's try throwing in the text. Copy, make sure. And yep, it's missing some stuff. Got it. Well, good thing I've got the katakana and hiragana up, so let's lap on the fixes. So before I apply any fixes, currently the text translation result from Kururugi is that hole in your right hand. It's getting bigger and bigger. But let's find and apply those fixes. I think I need hiragana for this. One. Next one is that one. And there's the other one. Close, but not it. Uh-oh. Here then? No, probably. Where is it? There it is. And surprisingly, that actually didn't change the result. Huh. So yeah, the text result for the translation for Kururugi is still currently that hole in your right hand. It's getting bigger and bigger. I do think, well, yeah, the first part should be that the wind tunnel in your right hand. Or the wind tunnel in your right hand.
そのうち 弥勒様も風穴に吸い込まれるって。
Let's see. In the English version, Kururugi continues with, and that eventually you'll be swallowed up by it. From the screenshot result, Kururugi says, eventually you'll also, okay, no, that's coming out weird. The screenshot translation here apparently has Kururugi saying, eventually Miroku also being sucked into a wind hole. Let's grab that text. Slip it on at the end. Alright, let's see. Okay. So with both sides put together in the text translation, it comes out from Kururugi, the wind tunnel on your right hand. It's getting bigger and bigger. And eventually, you'll be sucked into the wind tunnel too.
Ah.
I don't need to translate that. That's just Miroku being like, I see. In the English version, Miroku just kind of gives a like he's not really sure how to respond.
そう。やっぱり本当なんですね。
In the English version, Kaname or Kururugi then asks, "So it's true?" Oh, the screenshots just aren't working for this one. Apparently, from the screenshot, Kururugi is saying, yes, it's really true after all. I think it should be I see. So it was true after all. We'll see once I throw it in the text. They still translate it as yes at the start. But I do think it's supposed to be I see. It's true after all.
ええ、本当です。
In the English version, Miroku responds with, yes, it is. From the screenshot result, Miroku says, yes, really. From the text, Miroku says, yes, it's true.
しかし、結局、この世のもので永遠のものはない。それは、誰でも同じことなんです。
In the English version, Miroku continues with, but nothing of this world is forever. It's the nature of everyone. From the screenshot result, Miroku says, but in the end, it's something of this world. Nothing is eternal. It's the same for everyone. Let's check the text, especially when I add it. Okay. So far from the text translation, Miroku says, yes, that's true. But ultimately, nothing in this world is eternal. That's true for everyone.
それまで何をなせるか、それだけのことですから。
The fact that there's no music or sound for this, though, really helps add the weight to it. In the English version, Miroku concludes here with, "What you do until the end. That is what matters." From the screenshot translation, Miroku concludes with, "Whatever we can do until then is all that matters." And from the text, slapping that on at the end, the whole thing for Miroku is... okay, the end of that comes out a little weird, but... for the text translation, Miroku, from start to finish, says, "Yes, that's true. But ultimately, nothing in this world is eternal. That's true for everyone. Until then, what can we do? It all comes down to the atmosphere." Something about that doesn't feel right. So I'm just gonna do a quick double check. Nope. Okay, I found the issue. All right, let's fix this up. Actually, I know what I can do to start with it. Yeah, I can just grab the katakana for this, or hiragana. And then I'll just piecemeal it together or whatever. That. Do that. That. Do that. No, wrong one. Okay. So was this one I needed? That one. Yeah, that's coming out a lot better. Let's see. There's this one. Hmm. Where is that one? No, it might be in here. Where the hell? You know what? Where the hell? Uh-oh. There we go. I can just grab it from here. Then... Huh? And I think it's this one. It might be. I don't know about that. But the wording does look right. I just want to double. Nope. No, I think I found it. There we go. So the full translation from Miroku here, from the text translation, now that I fixed up what the translator was messing up, comes out as, yes, that's true. But ultimately, nothing in this world is eternal. That's true for everyone. It's all about what you can accomplish until then.
弥勒様、本心からそう思ってるんですか?
Oh, great. Now Kaname has another multi-parter. Good thing I took that break when I did, because this is definitely going to take a bit. Let's see. In the English version, Kururugi pretty quickly follows up with, Miroku, is that really how you feel? But in the Japanese version, with the ellipses there, it's definitely a hesitation to continue. But from the screenshot, Kururugi is saying, Miroku, do you really think that? I guess another way to read it would be, is that really what you think? Okay. Next part.
私はその弥勒様がいなくなるのは嫌。絶対嫌です。
Ooh, no, I do love the hesitation there. That is definitely more of a Kaname specific thing rather than Michiru. In the English version, Kaname says, I don't want you to die. I really don't. From the screenshot, Kaname's translation is, I don't want you to disappear. Absolutely not. And it does sound like she's tearing up a little for this one. Let's see. Okay. From beginning to end, from the text translation, Kaname says, Miroku, do you really think that? Well, I don't want you to leave. Absolutely not.
Hmm. お前は結構痛いところをついてきますね。
Yeah, like, even on the CG, the fact that there's no music, like, this, like, they know this is a heavy topic. So they're just like, just let the characters speak. In the English version, Miroku starts by saying, "You're very intuitive." From the screenshot translation, though, Miroku apparently says, "You had a sore spot." Let's see what the text comes out to. Because this is going to be a heavy one. Okay, the text starts the same as the screenshot, but we do have more, so we'll see if that changes.
ねえ、正直、私はこの風穴が怖い。そう、怖いんです。
Considering we started with probably one of the goofiest Miroku events, and for this stream likely ending on the heaviest Miroku event, yeah, we're just kind of hitting both ends. In the English version, Miroku continues with, "To be honest, I am scared of the wind tunnel. Truly, I am." From the screenshot, Miroku says, "Yes, to be honest, I'm scared of the wind tunnel. Yes, truly scared." Now let's grab the text. Okay, hold on. I need to... it is missing stuff, so I need to find what the hell is missing. Oh, here we go. Okay. Little weird at a point. But so far... Oh, actually, hold on. It's here. Okay. So far, from the text translation, Miroku says, "You really hit a sore spot." Yes. Honestly, I'm intentionally scared of the wind tunnel. Yes, I am. I don't know why it has intentionally in there. Oh, wait, nope. I see what happened here. Oh, jeez. Okay, no, I need to swap a couple things again. Oh, boy. This is gonna get a bit rough. Because now I also need a kanji. And this is gonna suck to look through. That. Start. Okay. Now then, back to hiragana. What pieces do I need? There we go. There. You there, and you there. And, yeah, that actually fixed things. Okay, let's try this again. From the text translation for Miroku, so far, he says, you're hitting a sore spot. Yes. Honestly, I'm scared of this wind tunnel. Yes, I'm scared. Okay, good start, good start. How does it end?
その気持ちに正直に向き合えるようになるまで随分とかかりました。
The English version seems to end pretty shortly, but we'll see what the Japanese version has. In the English version, Miroku concludes this with, "It took me a long time to accept that." From the screenshot translation, Miroku says, "It took me a long time to be able to honestly face those feelings." Okay. Let's try to get the text and slap it at the end. Okay. Okay. So from beginning to end, for Miroku, in the text translation, he says, you're hitting a sore spot. Yes. Honestly, I'm scared of this wind tunnel. Yes, I'm scared. It took me a long time to be able to honestly face those feelings.
Miroku-sama.
I don't need to translate that. That's just Kaname either trying to sympathize with or empathize with Miroku.
でも自分の心に正直に怖い、恐ろしいと感じるのも大事なことだと私は思いますよ。
In the English version, Miroku says, "But I think that it is important to feel scared, frightened, and everything that your heart feels." From the screenshot, Miroku apparently says, But I think it's also important to be honest with yourself and feel scared or frightened. I don't think I see heart in there. So I'm curious where the English version got that. Interesting. Actually, let's see what happens if I mess with this. No difference. From the text translation, Miroku says, but I think it's important to be honest with yourself and think about what's scary, frightening, and valuable.
Hi.
Don't really need to translate that. It's more Kaname just, I feel, solemnly agreeing. Given the hesitation at the start there and how quiet her voice was. It could be, I'd say the two best translations on this would either be yes or right. The English version went the easy route and just had Kaname say yes. But, hey, options.
Miroku-sama.
I don't need to translate this because it's just Kaname saying Miroku's name in her thoughts, but considering there's more to this, I do need to translate it to put it for the text so that the whole thing makes more sense. So, let's grab that. Okay, and
悟っているように見えてもずっと悩んできたのね。
okay. In the English version, Kaname concludes her thoughts here with, I thought he was already enlightened, but he still suffers inside himself. From the screenshot, Kaname's thoughts here conclude with, even though you seem enlightened, you've always been troubled. And if I add the text, let's see. Both ends from the text translation from Kaname, her thoughts come out as, Miroku, even though you appear to be enlightened, you've always been troubled. And honestly, I do feel like I'm not really gonna have time to get too far. So I'll save the next chunk for next stream. Until then, this has been the Azure Guardian. See ya.